Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of With All Due Respect. We are your hosts. I'm Ryan Shead. That's Marcus Flowers. Brother, how you doing?
Oh, my status is pending right now, awaiting further data. That's how I'm feeling right now.
That's 2 weeks now that you've been stuck on the loading screen, bro.
Let me tell you, just spinning around, trying to see what's going to happen here.
The old
Yeah,
school Apple wheel. That's
yep,
where you're at right now.
where I've been for the last couple of weeks,
I
pretty much all of this year. Uh,
It's
it
been a rough
came at
start
us
already, hasn't
really
it?
quick and really fast, didn't it? So,
It sure did. Along with those credit card payments from Christmas.
there
So,
you go.
uh, but no, look, per usual, we've got a great interview for you today. With All Due Respect was started, at least this podcast part was started because we wanted to highlight the candidates that need to be in the pipeline for the Democratic Party. Some of them are brand new faces, some of them are faces that we've seen before. And today we have Amy McGrath from Kentucky, which, if you don't know who she is, you should. But just in case you don't, she's an American former Marine fighter pilot and political candidate who's currently running for the Senate in Kentucky. She was the first woman to fly a combat mission for the Marine Corps and the first woman to pilot the F-18 in a combat mission. She was inspired to be a fighter pilot after studying World War II aviation in middle school and taking family trips to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. So during her 20 years of service in the Marine Corps, McGrath flew 89 combat missions against Al Qaeda and the Taliban. So as you can see, she's an overall badass. Amy, welcome to the show, and thank you for joining
That's
us.
badass.
Hey, great to be with you both.
Yeah,
Thank you for joining us today, Amy. It's good seeing you again.
Yeah.
yeah. So I just want to jump right into it and
Let's
dork
do
out with you for a quick second. We were talking a little bit behind in the green room that I had worked on F-18s for a few years, and so we have that little connection. And I miss the thing I probably miss the most is being able to walk outside of the hangar, after you just did 12 hours, but you're watching the same aircraft you're working on take off. And I miss the noise. I miss watching them. I even miss the air shows we used to get to go go to.
it.
It was always an honor to watch you all, get in the cockpit of one of those planes that we worked hard on, and then to know that you all were out there doing the job. So thank you for your service. Thank you for trusting people like me with your life, literally.
Yeah.
And thank you for stepping up once again to serve not just Kentucky, but Americans.
Country.
Well, thank you, because it was really a team effort. The as you know, the F-18, it takes a lot of people to get it
Yeah.
airborne. And it's not just one person. And I do remember those days, the smell of the tarmac,
Yep. Hydro
sound,
fluid and fuel. Yeah, yeah.
the sounds of the engines. I mean, you really felt like you're living.
Yep.
And I loved it. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. And when people ask me, would you go and go into the military again and do it? Yes, absolutely. It was
Yeah.
wonderful.
Do
It's
you
kind of a
feel
younger person's game. I'm a little bit older now, but
all three of us? Let me ask you, because I say this all the time. Would you feel it's a fair statement to say that most of what you have now in your life stems from the military?
I think a lot of it did.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate, a lot of the values that I grew up with came from my family, from my faith right here in Kentucky. Growing up, going to Catholic schools and just knowing what's right and wrong, and then going into the military, uh, adding that leadership
Mm,
perspective, adding that confidence on
yeah.
top of it. You go into the military, you become a Marine Corps fighter pilot. It's not just that. It's
Yeah.
going through survival school.
Yep.
It's getting your commission. It's going through Marine Corps infantry training, because that's what the basic school is.
Yeah.
It's getting through all of that, and
Yep.
then flight school, and all of those things give you another sort of. If you watch like The Mandalorian, I have kids because I watch these things.
Yep. We do
He
too.
has this.
Love
He
it.
has this. I think it's called Beskar, but it's like this metal that he puts on, and every time he does a mission, he comes back and he melts that another piece, and he puts it on, and
Yep.
it becomes his armor. And that is like my Marine Corps career, my military career was like every little bit of challenge, you're successful in, and you put that in your pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the end, you're confident enough to, fly in combat or to
Yeah.
go into politics.
And that's
Yeah.
that's one of the things I used to tell people out on the campaign trail as well. I learned all of the values growing up in South Alabama, Lower Alabama, as we call it, LA, that I took with me throughout my career in the military, overseas, all those values that I had, but I honed them and really, really got a deeper sense and meaning of what those values were, selfless service, being honorable, always speaking the truth, just really drove it home being in the military. And that's one of the reasons, if not the biggest reason why, our PAC Hold the Line, which has endorsed Amy, by the way, looks for veterans who want to continue serving. And
Yep.
Amy, I want you to just tell us a little bit about how you got into the world of politics. I know you ran for Congress before and you ran for Mitch McConnell before, but what drove you after service in the military to want to go into politics? Because that's a tough decision to make.
It is, and it's not
different
something
worlds.
that I really ever thought about while I was in the military. It was not
Okay.
not a lifelong goal of mine. I certainly, it was not my thing. I
We were all
always,
apolitical in the military. We didn't
right.
talk
I was
politics.
I was an independent. It was not my thing. I always very much respected political leaders, and I wanted to serve the country, and I wanted to defend our country. That's what my life has been about, defending our country. And I think I got to the point at the end of my career with the rise of MAGA, frankly, and the values that that movement brought were not the values that I saw that I wanted to lead this country.
Amen.
Okay. And it came down to basic truth, honesty, decency. It just wasn't where I felt like our country needed to go. And I was very concerned, right? Because if you have a leader who is not a man of courage, is not a man of honor, who doesn't even understand the concept, I was worried where our country would go. And it was at that point when I decided, I've done some hard things in my life.
Yeah.
And I've got a pretty thick skin, as a fighter pilot.
Yep.
And I can still serve my country because you know what? We need better leaders. We need better leaders right now. And a lot of people are really good leaders, but they don't want to get into politics because of, it's hard and it's nasty. And sometimes it's thankless. But where will our country be if we don't have people that stand up? And so I've always been one of these people that have said, be the change you want to see.
There you go.
We'll do it. I'm
Love
a doer.
Yep.
There you go. I mean, and that's at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about. Be the change that you want to see. It was tough for me to decide to go into the world of politics. We all come from that apolitical world. Yeah, before when I was, working for DOD, we did reports for Congress. We did reports for Congress from war zones, and I spent some time on Anaconda where those F-18s were getting off the tarmac hot. Afterburners kicked in at 5 o'clock every morning. So I remember that. I know how loud those things can get.
Right over the roof for the training too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But I remember that. And I remember looking back on, these guys are doing a great job. I remember saying that, back in the days. And this is like early 2000s, late 90s. Fast forward to 2016 or before that, where the rhetoric was just getting so white hot.
Yeah, but it was 2015. Yeah, it was 2015 when it really turned that corner. Like as soon as Trump jumped into that race and he wasn't laughed out of the room.
Yeah,
that was when it really shifted.
There was a real shift there.
Yeah,
but January 6th was the real shift.
Yeah,
where it, and a lot of us, I'm sure you did as well, Amy, were warning what could happen if we kept down that path.
Yeah.
And then January 6th happened, and we knew we'd turned the corner.
Yeah.
And now Trump's back in office after that.
Yeah.
Can you tell me?
Go
ahead, Ryan.
Well, I was just going to say, one of the jobs that you'll have once you win this seat is sometimes educating your constituents and voters, and sometimes just the public. And in that effort, I know tariffs is something that you speak about sometimes. And I feel like, how do I put this? I feel like a lot of people don't know who pays tariffs and where this revenue is coming from. So could you maybe explain to our listeners who pays tariffs and what it actually does to our economy?
Sure. Well, and you're right to say a lot of people don't understand it. I was just talking to a lovely woman about a month ago, and she, wants to give the benefit of the doubt to the president. I don't really understand tariffs, but I think he knows what he's doing. And you're sort of like, okay, well, it's great that you want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but these tariffs are a tax on you.
Yeah,
you pay for them. And, these Republicans, this is, part of what I say here in Kentucky all the time. These Republicans didn't just fail to make things better for you. They are actually intentionally making things worse.
yes,
Because of these tariffs. And, they sold you out. It is a double tax, all right, on Kentuckians, on
Period.
Americans that none of us asked for and that nobody wants. I don't recall in the 2024 election with a lot of people saying, I voted for Trump and Republicans because I really like these tariffs.
Yeah.
No. And there's a lot of it is because people don't really fully understand them. So what happens is when you import something from another country, okay, and you have the president then put a tariff on it, you're telling that country has to pay more to bring it into our country. All right. And what they do is just pass on that cost.
Yep.
They pass it on to the businesses that are buying that product.
Yep.
And those businesses then pass it on to you. So let me give you an example. Bourbon, okay, which is pretty big here in Kentucky. Bourbon, you might think, well, bourbon's made in America. Why should tariffs affect that? Well, the glass bottle, probably didn't come from America. The cork probably didn't come from America. And so they have to import those the parts to make that bottle of bourbon.
Yeah.
And when the prices of that rise, they have to pass on the cost to the consumer.
Yep.
So right now, all of your prices at Walmart, at Target, and even in the grocery store are all up. And a lot of it is because of these tariffs. The price of beef is up, pork is up, groceries, car prices are up, even cars that are built here in the United States. Why? Because there's no car that is all of the parts come from here.
No.
It's all, we've done this thing called international trade for decades now.
It's not new.
We have really good manufacturing of cars here, but a lot of those parts come from other places like Mexico and Canada.
Yeah.
And so when you slap tariffs on these countries that are not even our adversaries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some of them are allies, literally. Yeah.
For no reason, they're going to retaliate and slap tariffs on our products. And that not only hurts us consumers, but it also hurts our industries that sell products to them, like bourbon, like our farmers.
Yep.
Half of the soybean crop gone this year.
So how many jobs?
Soybean farmers are taking a huge hit right now.
And that Marcus is not coming back.
No.
Not coming back.
No. I mean, China, which is one of the biggest purchasers of our soybeans, they're not coming back to buy our soybeans anymore.
Nope.
They're getting
made new deals
like Brazil or wherever, Argentina. Our farmers are getting raked over the coals. And these are the people who
taxes on us in the form of tariffs.
Yep.
And they cut taxes for guys like Elon.
Absolutely.
Yep. But that's the part too that isn't talked about enough is the jobs that will be affected by this. So, I mean, do you have a number, an estimate of the jobs that could be lost in your district or just in your state?
That's a good question. I know that we've already experienced a lot of job loss here in Kentucky. The current administration has set to cancel some of the investments in EVs, electric vehicles,
Yeah.
and that has hurt the industry, the car industry here, and we've lost thousands of jobs because of that.
Yeah.
And it all is part of this sort of attack on the economy from the highest levels. I mean, and that's what, cutting these programs that help us with our manufacturing here
It's like shooting yourselves in the foot.
Shooting ourselves. Our manufacturing is declining right now.
Yeah.
We're shooting ourselves at these tariffs are just every economist said not to do this.
Yep.
There's a reason
everybody
why
knew what they were doing
since 1930, or 1920, 25.
Yeah.
That was that illusion or that dream or whatever you want to call it that people had. Oh, Trump's a businessman. He's run all of these businesses
into the ground.
Yeah, he ran them into the ground. Exactly. Ran them into the ground. How many casinos did he bankrupt? Yeah. We don't even talk about Trump University.
The fraud cases.
Like that, the stakes and all of that stuff. He's using the presidency just to make money. This is probably the most successful he's ever been in business, is by grifting on the American people through the executive branch. I mean, it's ridiculous.
And setting up the future of this movement. Like I said, that the relationship that we have with these countries is being affected. They're creating, isolationism, and it's with a very specific goal in mind. And when you're an 80, 81-year-old dude that's been eating Kentucky Fried Chicken, McDonald's for majority of your life, that is clearly not in good shape, I tell people, like, you're giving this dude the keys to the kingdom when, like, he's got maybe 3 years left? Like, he does not care what happens. He's trying to set his family up. He's trying to set his donors up, because at the end of the day, he doesn't have much time left. That's just a fact. So it's like, we have given this dude all this power, and he has no election to run for. He's trying to stay in there. It's just insane what we're allowing to happen, which is why we need people like Amy to step in, because the only stopgaps that we had were Congress and Senate. Now, we've seen the House do their job twice and impeach him and send it to the Senate. And twice, the Senate didn't convict and do their job so that he would have no chance of being in the White House again. So that's why these elections matter, because Amy and all these Democrats, they are our stopgap. And they also need to feel the support from us so that they feel comfortable walking into the Capitol and standing on their soapbox and saying, no, this isn't good for us. This isn't good for my constituents. This isn't what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel personally like we've been missing in Congress as a whole, is that there aren't enough people right now in this moment that are stepping up, because I feel like either they don't realize how bad it really is, or they're just too scared. They're too worried about holding onto their seat.
And let me put a fine point on that.
Please do.
It's about having leaders with courage. And what we know about Amy McGrath, a fighter pilot, combat veteran, she's got courage.
Yep.
And she would definitely go into that Senate chamber and be courageous. Unlike, did we talk about Mitch McConnell, who's stepping down or after this war? I mean, Mitch has shown so much courage. I think he's one of the reasons why we're in this situation
for sure
right now. Anyway,
100%, and so it's not. This is why it's so important also to elect people whose lives are not politics and politicians. Why?
Yeah, that's a great point.
Because you got a guy like Mitch McConnell who's been there for like 40 years. This is his life.
Yeah.
Okay. And I it's so amazing to me to think about these guys who know, like in the case of Kentucky, the Republicans running for the seat, they all know that tariffs hurt our state. They all know that these cuts to healthcare crushes our state.
Yeah.
And yet they continue to champion this stuff. I guess because they love the office space on Capitol Hill. I don't know. But you definitely need people who are willing to go, and this is why I like term limits, because you shouldn't be in Washington for 40 years.
Shouldn't be your career.
You go and you represent the people.
Yep.
And then you leave. And I always harken it back to, and you guys will appreciate this, our combatant commands. We have the best, 4-star generals and admirals in the world. Guess what? And they're in charge of different parts of the world. But you know what? They don't stay there for 40 years.
No.
And they don't even stay there for 10 years. They
Nope.
do, you're a head of CENTCOM or Southcom or whatever.
2 to 4 years, you're lucky, yeah.
Yep. And you do it. And guess what? We do a pretty good job of keeping good people through there. This argument of, oh, well, they lose the institutional knowledge. Folks, let me ask you, is that institutional knowledge helping us right now?
There you go. There you go. I mean, that's one of our hallmarks of Hold the Line Pack, bringing in the next generation of Democratic leadership. The
That know
next
what they're doing.
generation. How many times have we heard from people like Mitch McConnell and, some of our other octogenarians in Congress saying, well, we're holding the line for this next generation to come in, but then they never pass the torch.
Yeah.
They never
They
pass.
run them all out of the party. Yeah.
And that's
because we got a lot of stuff to fix. I mean, we've got
A ton.
Kentuckians are losing their health care left and right, thousands of us. And then we've got to fix our democracy structurally.
absolutely.
I mean, we've got to do things like ending gerrymandering, getting dark money out of politics. There's so much we have
Supreme
to
Court reform.
term limits for the Supreme Court.
So what have you seen from this administration, either the first time or this time, that has directly impacted healthcare there for Kentuckians?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you asked, because a lot of people voted for these Republicans and this president, and they on a promise that, we're not going to go after Medicare. We're not going to go after Connect, which is, Kentucky's very successful ACA marketplace.
Okay.
We're not going to go after Medicaid. That is exactly what they did.
Yep.
And, I'm somebody that believes that every Kentuckian, every American deserves affordable health care, right?
Yes.
And these guys in power, their single legislative accomplishment that they did last year with all the power, they had the House and they had the Senate and they had the presidency. That single piece of legislation they did cuts taxes for Elon, okay, but massively cuts health care from Americans, from Kentuckians.
Yeah.
It added a staggering $3 trillion to the national debt, by the way.
I don't know how these people sleep at
With
night.
healthcare in particular.
Uh-oh.
We lost Amy there.
So,
Let's give her-
yeah, she'll come right back. But while she's talking about that too, I wanted to also just put a cap on it. So when we talk about the economy, this isn't just Kentucky. This is the United States. It's come out that 2025 was the worst non-recession year for hiring since 2003. Revisions to employment figures showed the nation added just 181,000 jobs, an average of just 15,000 per month, down from an initially reported 49,000 pace, according to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. I'm starting to understand now why Donald Trump was canceling the release of all these reports, because they sure aren't helping his cause.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was by design, and they kept playing with the numbers as much as they could.
Oh, yeah.
And this is important. At a time where people are still getting destroyed by their health care, which
Yes.
personally, I think it's criminal when someone goes bankrupt because of healthcare, because they got sick.
Yep.
I think that's criminal. And then you add the fact that it's tough to get a job out there and the market is shrinking.
Yep.
And consecutively shrinking under Trump. I mean, I don't want to say it the wrong way, but I think he's the worst president on record for creating jobs. I want to say
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me.
it's pretty close if he's not the worst.
At least in modern.
in modern history,
Yeah.
since we've been
Yeah.
tracking that
Yeah.
type of data. So, I
It's
mean,
like since 1900, I bet. Yeah. I bet that's probably true.
it-
Yeah.
Get it to us, Keith. Check that for us, will you, Keith? But
talk about Kentucky.
Healthcare jobs too. I mean,
Yeah.
when you cut Medicaid and you cut the subsidies for Affordable Care Act, that means people can't get health care and jobs go away. We're looking at 20,000 healthcare jobs lost in Kentucky because of what this bill did last year that these Republicans all voted for. All right. And so, and also we have the highest number of rural hospitals in the country at risk right now.
Oh, wow.
At risk of closure because of this. So imagine, right now, if you're living in a rural area, your dad has a heart attack, you have to drive him to the hospital maybe 15 minutes. Well, if that hospital goes away, now you're looking at an hour and a half drive.
Yeah.
That's people's lives right there.
Yep.
That's communities.
It's shameful. Of 34, I want to say 34 developed countries, we're one of two maybe that haven't figured out universal health care, or at least making it affordable for people. I mean, it's
if we wanted to, we could.
You guys are making it worse.
Yeah. If we wanted to, we could. I firmly believe that. We could make it happen if we wanted to. It's just all the powers that be and lobbying and, corporations being treated as voters. Like, it's all of that stuff that's the problem. It's not, can we fund it? Yeah, we can find a way to fund it. If we can keep funding these billionaires and Elon Musk, we can find a way to fund it.
Yeah,
it's just
putting. What do we call it when the system keeps making the same mistakes over and over and over again without fixing them?
Well,
insanity.
And we have to shift the incentives. My mom
accepting the risk
is a lifelong physician, and here in Kentucky, and my father had cancer. Maybe about 15 years ago, he was diagnosed, and my mother had to retire from being a physician to care for him full time later on. And I remember coming home, I was still in the military, coming home on leave and walking in the room, and my mother had just hung up the phone and she was on the verge of tears. It's my mom, who's a doctor. And I said, well, Mom, what's wrong? And she said, I've been on the phone with these insurance companies for like an hours, and I can't get them to give, Don, who's my dad, what he needs. Mm-hmm. And if I'm a doctor, I'm a physician, and I can't navigate the system, how on earth can anybody navigate this system of private insurance?
Yeah.
And that was at that point where I was just like, yeah, we got to do something about this. This is wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a constant fear of litigation, that's constantly over their heads as well. Like, there's just so many issues. But like you said, I've heard so many doctors in my life that have said the exact same thing or something very similar. It's hard for them to navigate it. They hate it. They don't like it. And they don't even like charging their patients what they do. But they've got to play the game. They've got to charge the most amount of money so that the insurance will pay, the top, dollar or whatever their payout is. And every insurance company is different. And so it's just crazy when you sit down and look at it. And I wish more people kind of would, because the same people that say, I don't do politics, are the ones that are affected by these policies the most.
By politics. And to put a finer point on that, when you see these insurance companies recording record profits quarter after quarter after quarter, while people are struggling out there.
People are struggling, and the Affordable Care Act subsidies. Look, the Affordable Care Act was never a perfect piece of legislation. We know this. But for Kentucky, it did Kentucky a lot of good because we had a Democratic governor and we expanded Medicaid and we got people coverage here. Yeah. And what we've seen at the very beginning of this year is these premiums have skyrocketed. I just talked to a woman where I live in Northern Kentucky. Her premium has gone up from like $400 a month to $1,500 a month. Now, people cannot afford that.
No, it's nuts. And we shut down the government for how many weeks? for this, and yeah, we got some subsidies at the last minute, but the die had already been cast.
Yeah.
Those premiums skyrocketed, and
But
now
like,
people are suffering that consequence.
but
So
I'm really glad you said what you said though, Amy, because people can't afford this.
Mm-mm.
And like, I just got my vehicle registration. We bought a new truck last year because one of our cars died, and it's $1,800 for the year.
Mm-hmm.
I opened that and my heart sunk. I was like, "Are you guys serious?"
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's just things like that. All it is takes right now is a dentist bill, that you weren't expecting, or your car breaking down. And
Yep.
so many Americans are riding that edge literally right now. And that's the biggest issue I see is we're electing these people to go in there and fight for us and advocate for us and vote for us and the policies that will benefit us. And we vote for so many of these people, not all, but we vote for them, and then we watch them go up there and work for special interest groups, and they're big money donors. They forget their $5 donors,
Mm-hmm.
and that's, for me, that's the biggest issue that
Yeah.
I have with it.
I mean, in the case of, they could have gone and done nothing, and it would have been better than what they did, which was slap a bunch of tariffs, make the prices go higher, pass this bill that rips away healthcare from people. They could have done nothing. And oh, by the way, had they done nothing,
I
we
love
would had a less of a deficit.
Yeah.
Instead,
It's so true.
cut taxes for the billionaires out there. They cut healthcare from people. They raise prices in the form of tariffs. I mean, they're working against us right now. I was talking to a woman last night, Kendall, who was telling me, and she's about my age. She has a single mom of 3 kids, about the same ages as mine. And she was telling me, look, I got a raise in my job. The problem is I don't have the spending power that I had 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And the rent's up, groceries is up, energy prices are up.
Everything
is through the roof.
Across the board.
Yeah.
The board. I saw something a while back that said most Americans couldn't afford a $400 emergency. This was a couple of years back.
Oh, I
wonder
believe
what
that.
that is now.
Probably 100.
It's probably $100 emergency.
Yeah.
And I know people are really feeling the pinch. When you're hearing the evangelicals complaining about the prices of things, because when Biden was in office, it was these eggs are too damn high. Well,
Yep.
nothing's gone down.
It's gone up.
Changed. It's only gone up. So
yeah, that's the thing. I love what you just said though. And I think Marcus, unless you got something else, I'm going to cap it off on that. The Republican Party literally could have done nothing, and it would have been better than what we're seeing right now. So, Amy, thank you so much for joining us today, giving us 30 minutes of your time. I know how busy you are running your campaign. And as I commonly say, I look forward to having you back on, and hopefully I can address you as senator, and we can keep talking about what's affecting us here.
Well, I appreciate both. I really
do.
do.
Tell everybody where they can find you and help you out.
Yes.
Yeah, great. AmyMcGrath.com. And I always say, don't count Kentucky out. We have a Democratic governor. Yep. This is a very, very unique opportunity here with this open seat. And if you're a patriot and you love this country, you have to support candidates around the country. We have to be the change that we want to see. So I would just offer everybody, if you don't like me, go find somebody to support. But get out there and don't give up on our country.
Absolutely.
Love it.
In the Commonwealth of Kentucky, that would be a crucial pickup Senate seat
for the country
that America desperately needs.
Yeah. That would be a big pickup for the country. So please, if you can, go give a few dollars to Amy. Remember, pretty much every Democratic campaign that I know of supports union print shops when they run their campaigns. So when you're donating, you're actually helping high-paying jobs as well. So don't forget that part. Go visit her website. So Amy, thank you so much, and thank you again for your service and your continued service, because we definitely need it right now.
Amy, you're always my hero. So thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you both.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye now.
Bye. All right. Amy McGrath of Kentucky, y'all.
Yeah.
We're getting some good guests on here.
She's great, man. I mean, she's what we need to see in the Senate. More of that.
Yeah, for sure.
More of that.
Yeah. She's followed me for a few years. I think we've engaged comments, but that's the first time I've ever gotten to talk to her. And of course, she was impressive, at which I didn't expect anything less. But
Amy
like
and I
she's
became friends back in 21. I'd call her up and, get advice from her on things, and she was a tremendous help for me. So
it's nice to have those kind of people in your Rolodex.
yeah.
Yeah. So thank you again to her and her team for making some time to come on the show. And remember, we'll have her website in the description of the show. So please, you can go find it there, or just Google Amy McGrath, Kentucky, and her stuff will pop right up. We always joke about the fact that we always have some breaking news that comes as we're getting ready for the show. And it's always a little different now because we start with the interviews and then we go into this. But this one hit close home, and it felt like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it felt like it kind of hit all of us in the green room a little hard. But me in particular. And if y'all give me a minute to kind of talk about it, because it is something that's important to me. But the breaking news part is, unfortunately, James Van Der Beek lost his battle with colon cancer and has passed away at 48. If you had seen some of the videos he had done, he really didn't look good. But to my knowledge, I didn't think he was terminal. So I don't know, I don't know if this was expected because it was stage 3. But, as with most people dealing with cancer, nothing's certain. And they call it practicing medicine for a reason, because nothing is certain. The reason it hits close to home for me personally is I've spoke a lot about it. If you follow me, then I talk about Lynch syndrome a lot. And what that's short for is hereditary non-polyposis colorectal cancer, or HNPCC. That's what it was called before they gave it Lynch syndrome. My dad found out that our family carried that, and we traced it all the way back to my great-grandmother. So great-grandmother, grandmother, dad, me. We've been able to trace this genetic deletion. It's called the MLH1 deletion. And basically what it does is a tumor that could take 10 years to grow in somebody like Marcus would take more like 10 months in me. So I had my colon taken out at 37. The surgeon at the time said, if you want to see your kids graduate from high school, you're going to let me take your colon out. And I was literally under the knife 2 weeks later. Because the one thing my dad didn't do is my dad didn't have a complete colectomy, because back in, the mid 90s, it wasn't like now where, I had some cuts, but, it was like being stabbed 8 times. My dad was cut from here all the way down,
It was very traumatic back in those
It
days.
is. It
A
was
lot more
traumatic to
invasive.
see. Yeah. So he didn't want the stoma. He didn't want the bag because he had seen his mom and his best friend with it. And again, back then the bags weren't what they are today. So he just didn't want it. And after he passed, he made me promise to go get the test, because he had paid a lot of money to get it done back in 2005-06. It wasn't as big as it is now. And when I went to go get the test, I asked his oncologist, I said, do you think my dad would still be here if he'd let you take out his whole colon? And like every doctor, she hemmed and hawed because she didn't want me, to hold anything against her legally. And I just this is just a conversation between you and me, like nothing. And she's like, of course I can't be sure. She's like, but he would have had a hell of a lot better shot. And that was when I was 25 that she told me that. So fast forward to 37, had my colon taken out. 2 more years later, they found another 30 millimeter polyp with what was inside what was left. They had to go in and get that. So I am no stranger to these kind of things and losing folks. So yeah, it was, it hit me kind of hard because we were literally getting ready for the show when that popped up on my phone.
Right, yeah.
And I know, I feel like everybody I know in my life has dealt with cancer in some way, shape, or form, either a loved one or themselves. And so, I know these type of stories like Chadwick Boseman, these people that are in our lives because through their art, but they become a part of our memories and our lives because of, what they did. Yeah. And it makes it a little harder. So I guess I tell you guys all that to say, before I let Marcus say his part, go get tested. Don't hesitate to get a genetic test done, because I'll be honest, I felt like it was a death sentence when initially, because I just watched my dad die from it.
Yeah.
But over the years, I've learned that it was such a blessing, because I knew that I needed to go get screened every year or 2. So I started getting colonoscopies at 25. Nobody does that. But because I knew what I had, and I could justify it with the doctors, I was getting them every year. And that was, I started getting polyps at 32 and we were able to hold it off till 37. But I always think about, what if I hadn't gone? What if I hadn't been getting those colonoscopies? I wouldn't be here now. Like, I know that for a fact. So go get tested, go get those checkups. If you're having issues, my dad waited too long. And because he was one of those tough guys that didn't think he needed to go to the doctor or the hospital, and that's the way it was back then. But that's not the way to do it. Let's learn from their mistakes. Go get those checkups, because if you have kids, you have family, they want to see you around. So go to the doctor.
Absolutely. And it's so important. That's why, James's death, it kind of hits close to home to me as well, because my maternal grandmother died of colon cancer. And, she came from a different generation. She went through the civil rights movement and, lived under Jim Crow and all of that. And it was, they just didn't go to the doctors, and this is a thing that's common, or used to be very common in the Black community. You're afraid of doctors, and there's a lot of reasons for that.
Yep.
I won't go into them now because we'll be talking
valid
about
reasons.
All day.
Valid reasons.
They are very valid reasons for that. But she was one of those who didn't go. So we found out about her colon cancer very late in the process. I mean, I think she was late stage 3, early stage 4 when we found out she had cancer, and she was still working and struggling every day to keep food on the table, and it was just
it was funny too, man.
In a matter of months after we found out about it, she was gone. So
my dad said 3 weeks before he died, he was still talking about going back to work.
Yeah,
he's like, if my guys are gonna be mad, I got to get back to work. And like, I just remember looking at my brother like, he does not understand like what's happening right now. And man,
I get it as a man too. I mean, I don't always
sure.
go and get checked up the way I need to. My wife has to force me to go, and I go, oh, no, go. She's
I was straight up scared.
So go do it. Go check it out. Go do this. Oh, that hurts. Go see a doctor.
Yep.
A lot of us guys, we're like, oh, okay, we'll grind through it. I get that. I get that mentality, but
did we lose you?
Take care of yourself. I'm still here. Did you lose me?
Oops, connection lost.
Are you still with
I don't
me?
know if that's me or him.
I think I'm good.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay.
Sorry, guys, that was weird.
I was just talking. I didn't see.
They were just the computer's telling us to move on.
But yeah, guys, take care of your health. That's the biggest thing. Especially men. Do those checkups.
Yeah, man, they all matter. The prostate exams, the colon exams.
Make sure I get out every year, take a physical when I'm supposed to. Check
blood
on
work.
things.
Blood work.
Better, but
blood work can detect a lot now.
Yes.
So go to your doctor, just ask them for a blood workup. Even something that simple. So go get your checkups because it matters. And rest in peace to James Vanderbeek. Praying for his family. He's got 6 young kids, wife. So
very young family. So
40. I mean, he's 48, man. I mean, that's it's only like 4 years older than me. So
yeah, that's younger than me. So
yeah, I mean yeah, you just hate to hear that, man. So that kind of sucked. But let's move on to other things that suck. Well, actually, this didn't suck. It was fun watching the right lose their ever-loving minds over the Super Bowl halftime show.
Really?
Now, I will say with this, I do have one criticism that I have. We were trying to get the translation up on our screen so that we knew what he was saying. And the broadcast that we had access to, none of them automatically put it up. And every time we tried switching the captions for some reason, our TV wouldn't switch it from Spanish to English like it normally does. So I don't know what that was. That was my only thing, because what I wanted to know is I wanted to know some of the stuff he was saying. So I went back afterwards, to watch some of the clips, and people put captions, and I loved it because he was saying,
it didn't matter to me. I was just watching.
Well, I'm not really talking necessarily just about the music, because music to me is universal. We all knew those beats to those songs as soon as they came on. But the part where he was talking, And he said his full name. And he says, I'm here at the Super Bowl because I believed in myself. And you should believe in yourself too. And I was like, if y'all would have put that up on the screen, that would have been great.
Yeah.
Like, because that was powerful. And then you go back and you kind of
gripe on the right. Oh, he didn't speak any English and nobody understood.
I mean, I don't care. I just wanted to know, I just want to know what he was saying. I don't have, my issue isn't with him, singing in Spanish or saying Spanish. I just want to know what he was saying. And I couldn't get the captions to do it. So in the future NFL, if you're going to do that, just put the captions up for us. That's all.
Wouldn't be bad. But, looking at it from my perspective, someone who spent 20 years overseas in all kinds of countries, listening to all kinds of music from a lot of those countries, I didn't really care about the words. The music was great.
Oh, the music was great. Music, yeah.
And I just enjoyed it. Yep. And
the symbolism was good too.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe that's kind of what I wanted. Like, I like storytelling. So like Kendrick, we all knew the story and all of that. So to me, it's like, I wanted to hear the story. And then, the electric poles, not having electricity after the storm, not being support.
I mean, I got all of that. Sugar canes, I understand that about Puerto Rico, how people came in. I understood all of that. So
well, you did,
was on point.
But
it made it easy to just listen to the music. So.
Yeah. Like I said, the music is the music. Like, as soon as, I don't think there was one song that he did that I didn't know, the beat, the music, I just didn't know what he was saying at the time. But
we lost Ryan. Don't know what's going on with our broadcast today. Ryan's
on?
Back. Don't know what's going on.
Sorry, guys. I don't know if it's on my end or not. But yeah, anyway, I love the show, and I love the fact that Kid Rock completely tanked, and that show was horrible, and it couldn't even be broadcast on X because
didn't watch it. But I
didn't watch it either. Hey, either did Donald Trump.
Apparently not, because he was talking about how did he say terrible or horrible?
Dude, they got video of it. They got video of him watching that instead of the Turning Point one.
For the party that talked about Democrats being snowflakes and so sensitive about everything, they're sure in their feelings, being
sensitive really about everything.
That they need their own halftime show because the guy's not going to speak.
Such alpha male activities.
I mean, come on, man.
But shout out to the Seattle Seahawks.
Congratulations,
Seahawks. Yeah, New England Patriots had enough trophies, so it was nice to see Seattle Seahawks get one. That was who I was rooting for, so it definitely wasn't the most entertaining game. Field goals all the way up to like the middle of the third or whatever. But
I mean, it was kind of like you felt like it going into that the Seahawks had this thing wrapped up. I think they were the odds-on favorite, and
they were just more composed.
Defense wins championships, apparently. So
both the defenses were great, and who was the Gonzalez? I think was the dude on. Dude, he should have been the MVP, even though they didn't win, because he stopped 2 or 3 touchdowns, like with amazing heads-up plays. So that dude was amazing. But I turned it off about halfway through the fourth once they scored that last touchdown, because up till then I was like, it's not very probable, but they could still, a touchdown and a field goal or whatever.
I felt like the defense I was popping in and out. I was like, this defense is doing.
The defense.
Both defenses. It kind of felt like it was.
I think the quarter. I
don't want to say
like
foregone conclusion, but it felt like to me,
it was a good game. Like the fact that nobody ran up the score, really.
You never want to see that.
No. So I mean, it was a good defensive game, and I think at the end, for whatever reason, he's young, but Patriots quarterback, I think he got a little shook towards the end, and he just started kind of making a few little errors. But hey, it's his first time there.
It's football.
Hell yeah. I'm sure we'll see him there
team
again.
When we made it to the Super Bowl and the Pats came back and destroyed us. So, I kind of, I'm not going to say I kind of enjoyed the Pats getting beat in the Super Bowl game. But
yes, you did. And so did a lot of other people. Don't lie.
But I do want to see Atlanta make it one of these days again. So,
hey, I just want to see Detroit make it to the Super Bowl before I die. Like, it's been 44 years. Come on, y'all. But let's move on. Let's move on to some things that actually really matter. Like El Paso's airspace
Yeah.
was closed for first 10 days and
Yeah.
then a few hours. What do you make of that, buddy?
Well, I mean, some bold ass cartel members flying drones into our airspace, but yeah, I wonder why they decided at first we're going to shut it down for 10 days. That's still kind of a mystery, but it came down to, okay, yeah, we can
Do you trust that
open
they
this back
are
up.
cartel drones?
You know, I mean, that's the official story out there right now. So
From the
until we
DOD
know
and
otherwise,
yeah. I'd
yeah,
like to know a little more information on where the drone came from. I'm not saying it's not a cartel drone. I'm saying I have a hard time trusting anything coming out of this government and Pete Hegseth's DOD.
yeah, I mean, good point. Very good point.
Love that. You're like,
yeah, that's hard. It's hard to
points
argue.
were made.
You know, from a guy who used to work for DOD, you know, I'm like, hey, you know, why would we lie? But
Yeah,
you know, it's a different
yeah,
DOD
yeah.
from the DOD that I come from. So
Weapons of mass destruction.
I guess
right?
they're not even calling themselves DOD anymore. It's
Yeah,
DOW. So,
DO what DOW?
DOW.
I'm never calling it that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, me neither. So you know.
By the way, whoever's running for president 2028, the first thing you do is undo everything Trump did, take his name off of every building, and fix that.
Fire Pete Hegseth.
He ain't gonna be there by that time, bro. He's gonna be the fall guy before that happens.
Yeah.
Speaking of fall guys, the Epstein files.
Oh man.
I believe we have a video. Is this where we have the video, Keith? Pam Bondi is testifying before the House Judiciary Committee today. Right off the bat, Jamie Raskin accused her of engaging in a cover-up. She also refused to acknowledge the Epstein victims who were in the audience at the hearing today. This woman is insane.
And called Raskin a washed-up former lawyer, law professor. I mean, but he does understand the Constitution.
Yeah.
He does understand that. So
how is he washed up if he's asking you the questions, lady?
Exactly.
He's the one holding you accountable.
Yeah.
Because he's up here on the food chain and you're down here.
It's all about those checks and balances that we're supposed to have, you know. But I guess DOJ thinks they're above the law and that, you know, Pam Bondi can come in and insult a bunch of, you know, lawmakers, which is,
you know, imagine
just ridiculous. You know, the way they're behaving like they're above the law when you're supposed to be the agency that enforces the law. And you're supposed to be doing it according to the law, but they're the ones that are lawless. And
yeah, for sure.
Just ridiculous. You know, when you see all of these redactions that were
unnecessary redactions.
You know, and Trump was mentioned in there a lot with the redacted versions. I think it was
38,000
times. But then it turns out he's really in there about 900,000 times or so.
Somebody sent me a thing that said 2 million. Somebody sent me a thing that said 1 million. The only thing I was able to verify myself was the 38,000. That's the only number I was able to verify. So I'm going to stick with that one for now. But I have heard that he is in there a lot more. So, you know, not saying it's not true or whatever.
Some of the things that I've seen from the latest batch. I mean,
I've heard it too, like several times. I just haven't been able to verify it myself. I've seen some saying. Yeah, for sure. It's crazy.
We're talking about little kids now.
Oh yeah,
I remember Megyn Kelly going on a rant about, oh, it's not like we're talking about 8-year-olds. We're talking about 15 and 16-year-olds.
No, you're talking about 8-year-olds. We've seen the videos. You know, those are 8, 9, 10.
They look like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-olds.
Yeah. So those are not teenagers. I don't want to say that.
It's sick shit. You know, I'm sorry. Pardon my
None of them had hit puberty yet. But that was very evident.
Some sick shit that we're seeing here. And I see why they were, you know, trying their hardest
to cover it up. Oh, for sure. So, well, I mean, hey, freshly released FBI document shows that Trump said in 2006, everyone has known about what Epstein was doing, contradicting his claims that he had no idea.
Are we surprised about that, though?
Not you and me, no. Some other people maybe.
Feign, you know, get out their fainting chairs, like, oh, no.
So do we have a video of Pam Bondi, Keith?
Do we have some of that video, Keith?
The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you kidding?
Mr. Jordan, Mr. Jordan.
Committee will be in order.
Mr. Jordan, am I going to get an extra 45 seconds added to my time?
The committee will be in order. The time belongs to the gentleman from Texas. Ms. Bondi, the Attorney General can respond.
Thank you. The Dow has shattered 50,000 for the first time. This is crazy. They said it couldn't be done in 4 years, yet President Trump has done it in 1 year. The Dow is over 50.
My goodness. My goodness.
Is it over yet?
Yes. What does the Dow have to do with the Attorney General for the United States job? I'll tell you, fuck all. Sounded like a lot of deflection to me, and the casual insult of lawmakers that you're supposed to be answering to.
I don't
This
even
is
know
where
what
we
to
are,
say
guys.
to that.
This is where we are. This is the America that we're in right now. Is that what you voted for, MAGA? Do we think that's cute? Grandstanding in a committee hearing, talking about the Dow when you run the DOJ?
Bitch, what did you just say? Do you know what your job is?
Yeah.
The stock market is nowhere in your job description, not even in the small fucking print at the bottom. You crazy freaking woman, you. You work for a fucking literal rapist, an accused pedophile that you're helping him cover up for, and you're about to make a deal with Ghislaine Maxwell now that she held up her end of the bargain and pled the fifth 597 times. Like, lady, you are the devil. You are evil. You are what is wrong with this country, and you're working for a sexual predator and a literal felon. What the fuck is going on?
Will that be the cherry on top, though, when they commute Ghislaine's sentence or give her clemency?
Oh, it's coming.
Pardon her. It'll probably happen on Friday because they like to.
No, it's going to happen on a day when something really bad drops about Trump.
Yeah.
Yep.
Something bad's about to come out that they can't hide.
She's definitely getting it. Yeah, this has been the plan. And I'm not special. I know so many of us called this, that the minute she got moved to that different prison, we all went, oh, a deal was made.
Yeah.
We just hadn't seen what the deal was yet.
Yeah. That in
Pleading
and
the
of
fifth.
itself. That I heard that facility is not even supposed to have sex offenders there. I mean, it's just like for like.
Is that true?
And stuff.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Let's move on. Let's move on to ICE, because
more good news. More good news, guys.
Oh, and on top of that, as mind-blowing as that clip is, she was then asked to acknowledge the Epstein victims who were sitting in the audience, and she refused.
Yeah, I saw some of the photos with them giving her the stink eye, rightfully so. Because,
absolutely.
She's continuing to ruin their lives and making this, no justice for these women whatsoever. So under this attorney general, I mean, whoever runs for president next, you guys, I hope you run on a platform to bring back accountability,
At a minimum,
reverse everything that this administration has done as much as possible. Some of the die is already cast there. Some of the damage is already done, and it's going to take a long time to dig ourselves out of that. But we got
it ain't going to be a quick fix.
It's not going to be a quick fix. They've done a good job breaking things. They've
dorked us pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
With that, we also have President Trump meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu today. Now, I got into some pretty heated arguments back when this all started after the attack, and they started invading Gaza. I said, this is a land grab. And people got really upset with me. I even got called anti-Semitic for it. And I'm like, do you guys not see what's happening? Like, this is a land grab. Like, they're going to kick all those people out. They're going to move them, and then they're not going to let them back in.
Well, the administration was talking about it. They were bragging about.
But you know, a year and a half ago, I was being told I was wrong. Fast forward to now, and literally the administration, or I should say Trump and his business, have a plan for building and redeveloping Gaza.
Idea. Yeah.
You think they're developing it for Palestinians?
If you think the neighborhood's tough now, things are bad, try and pull that. Things will really go south. It's a horrible idea, fraught with all kinds of danger.
Yeah,
it's just a bad idea.
Well, they're going for Iran, and now it sounds like they're going for Qatar.
Like, why Qatar? Why Qatar?
I guess. Oh, I'm sorry. We're upping our arsenal as the tensions rise with Iran. Yeah. Rearming.
We're supposed to have peace there. You know, this is one of Trump's little peace.
Is this how you get a Nobel Peace Prize?
Those talks have gone south, and you know they're not really reporting on that a whole lot.
You know, I really want a Nobel Peace Prize, and I think I may have been mistaken in how to go about getting one. Clearly, starting as many conflicts as possible and arming as many areas as possible is the way to do it.
This guy.
This makes me want to bang my head against the microphone. You know that?
It's totally frustrating. I get it. But
the only thing keeping me sane, bro, is this. This is the only thing keeping me sane is these weekly shows and knowing that we are actively trying to do something to get people in office to stop the bleeding. Like I feel like we're trying to just find the right candidates for triage at this point. I know that sounds bad, but
if people don't understand how important these midterms are,
crucial.
And why we do this, why I do what I do,
crucial, and why we have a team of great people doing what we do. Like, you know,
gotta wake up. You got to get involved now.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily have to run for office to get involved.
No, not at all.
As Marcus is showing us.
Not at all. But we need to start paying attention to this and focusing on it right now. Because I guarantee you, the red team, they're very focused on it. They've sent the FBI to Fulton County to take ballots. Now, Fulton County is sued to get those ballots back and, you know, gotten an injunction as well. But again,
still crazy that happened.
I've probably said it 3 or 4 times during this show. The die has already been cast. We don't know what happened with those classified documents in Trump's bathroom for a year. And we don't know what's going to happen to our ballots while they're not where they're supposed to be.
Oh, you mean like cyber ninjas when they took all the Arizona ballots out of state to the personal owner's cabin?
Exactly.
Oh. Well, we don't want to talk about that, do we?
Yeah. But this is the FBI. So
yeah, well, we can't, as long as Kash Patel and Trump are involved, we can't trust the FBI.
They're doing everything they can to try and screw the pooch here, to try and
I'll just pretty successful from where I'm sitting.
Steal some votes.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
Everything they can to suppress the vote in Fulton County. They're going to challenge everything and say, oh, you know, I mean, people think it's about 2020, and part of it is it's about 2020 for Trump, maybe, so you can go back and say, oh, I won that election.
Nope.
But it's about the midterms,
and
that's what it's about. They're trying to do everything that they can in order not to lose power in the midterms.
Yes,
and we have to do everything that we can to ensure that they do.
And I think it's about 2028 as well.
Oh, absolutely.
This is, and here's my thought, and maybe it's more conspiracy driven, but I think that they want to sow that seed of doubt. Look, they did it in 2020. Trump proved it. So now it's like whatever, and it goes back to the unlawful orders nonsense. Like, why would you have a problem with people not, acknowledging unlawful orders? Is it because you plan on giving some unlawful orders? So, like, to me, this is just in the same side of the coin of just sowing that doubt so that, you can get people to maybe buy whatever the next con is.
Yeah,
And that's just where I think we are.
And when we're talking about that, before we move on, yes, I agree with you that part of this is about 2028. More immediately, it's about being able to continue the fuckery, for lack of a better term,
To keep power so he can keep
power,
for sure.
keep messing things up and implementing, this project.
They can't get 2028 if they lose the majorities. Yeah.
If Democrats win the House, and I can't even believe I'm saying this right now, but I think there is a path to Democrats winning the Senate.
I
think
would
there's
have
a path now.
I think I did disagree with you, or no, we both said that like 2 or 3 shows ago. And I got to agree with you now, man. And what's changed my mind is seeing these other, like these special elections that, 1 or 2 of them we didn't have, we shouldn't have won.
Going. I mean, the map's not favorable for Democrats, but
we're winning them.
It's starting to feel
people are saying,
right
okay.
I'm starting to change my mind a little bit there and think there is a path to win the Senate.
I think it's possible.
26.
I think it's
path.
possible. Yep. Probability.
A year ago, I wouldn't have said that.
Yep.
But now,
a few weeks ago,
yeah.
I just, like I said, the probability, who knows? But is it possible? Well, yeah, I could look at it now and go,
yeah. And I'm not confusing possibility with probability.
No, I know you're not.
I think there's a path.
For sure.
I think there's a path now.
Yep.
Several data points that we've had in these last elections and up until now, there's a path, which is why they're trying to fight so hard.
Yeah. And we need to do that.
Favor.
If there's any race that, isn't being challenged, we need to find those few races and challenge them. You never know, man. Like you said, we're already seeing districts that should not be favorable for Democrats that are flipping.
They're flipping.
So, we've had 2 or 3 members of Congress here in Arizona that, when they run, nobody runs against them because, they're like, well, we're just going to lose. Yeah. And we don't get help from the Democrats. Like now, this is a moment where I think if we're going to actually flip seats, that this is going to be it.
Get in those races.
So no, I agree with you. And I think we need to actually look and find those 1 or 2 Senate races that people feel like we can't win and find somebody and
they're going to say
go
Kentucky,
for it.
But I think Kentucky's totally winnable. Hell, I think Texas. Yeah. We could make.
I think Texas
is Texas.
I think Texas is purple right now because I think there's enough people in Texas going, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like there's one thing of
I know people are going to say, you Democrats, which Ron's not a Democrat. You guys say this.
I am a Democrat. I told you.
Cycle. I told you. Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, I found out that apparently I never deregistered.
Well, then you are a Democrat. Welcome.
I am a Democrat.
Welcome to the party.
Apparently, I never left. I was just sleeping in the basement.
Back to my point. People say that, every cycle, Democrats say we can win Texas. I think we can.
It's winnable. Yeah. I mean, because look.
We can do it in Montana. Montana, Texas, Kentucky. That's 3 right there. I think we can do it in Maine.
I
think we can do it in South Carolina.
I think it's possible. I think South Carolina is doable. But even in Texas.
Again, I see a path to victory now. So
yeah. That we didn't see before, for sure. There's definitely districts and even states that are favorable. And even here in Arizona, because I think Amy talked about how her state legislature has been controlled by Republicans since like forever. And now she's starting to see it flip.
Georgia, 22 years.
Same here in Arizona. I think it's been like 3 or 4 decades, if I'm not mistaken. So, but now we're seeing the possibility for the first time of the Democrats may be able to gain, either the Senate or the House here in Arizona. And if that happens, and we're able to keep Katie Hobbs where she is, keep Chris Mays where she is, then now things get a lot more interesting here in Arizona. You know, because now it's not going to be everything that the Democratic governor does is being stopped by the Republicans, you know, state house and all that. Now it's going to be, oh, maybe we can get some things pushed through now.
There you go. I mean,
we'll see. But hey, I wanted to go through a couple
between now and then. You know, we just got to keep blocking and tackling.
Dude, it's already February 11th, bro. Yeah. November's going to be here.
Well, the first primaries are coming up.
Oh yeah,
month.
Yeah.
So,
yep. We'll Sean Harris, his early voting opens March 11th, I think. March 10th or 11th.
Early voting starts this month, the end of this month. I'm not sure.
For Sean, for you guys in Georgia.
That special election is March 10th.
Okay, March 10th. Okay. Yeah, so Sean Harris, who's been on the show.
Day. But
early
voting starts less than a couple of weeks.
That's right around the corner, man.
Yeah.
Like we're there.
It's on us.
That's what people understand. We're already in midterm season. These elections are happening. These midterms or primaries are happening. Like it's already ongoing. So break's over. If you felt like we were on a break, Christmas and New Year's is over. Time to get back to it. Because
we pick up that one seat with Sean Harris. That makes things a little bit more sticky for Mike Johnson.
Yep. And I would love to see that. So I wanted to talk about a few things before we sign off. One, did you see that Donald Trump excluded Democrats from the annual governor's dinner?
Yeah. I don't think they're going to be upset about it. But it's a crappy thing to do.
How can you claim to be a president and claim to be about peace when you can't even bring about peace in the government? Like you're not even interested in good faith conversations with, and you expect Democrats to bend over backwards for this dude?
Not even trying.
No.
So I mean, and that's supposed to be a nonpartisan thing or bipartisan thing anyway.
Yeah, you should want to talk to the governor of every state. Because that's your job as president. This guy didn't want to be president because he wanted to run the country. He wanted to be president so he could rob us blind, which he's being very successful at right now. So
that and trying to put his name on everything.
So apparently now he wants to name Penn Station and Dulles Airport after himself. Now, this is after putting his name on the Kennedy Center and having to shut it down for 2 years for renovations because nobody was showing up and everybody was pulling out. Now he wants to put his name on some other shit?
And, we don't like using that word unprecedented because, it's just...
We try very hard not to.
It's been used so much in the past decade.
The first 5 episodes of this show,
been here, but, sitting presidents don't get to name stuff after them while they're president.
It's very weird anyway.
It's,
it's definitely not an alpha male thing. Like,
you get your library after you're,
that's different.
Gone.
Yeah. Yep.
That's enough.
Yeah. The library would be fine, but and apparently he's also trying to hijack the That's the thing I'm probably most mad about is that you pieces of garbage put Donald Trump in the presidency for our 250-year anniversary. So for 250-year celebration of the United States of America, we've got a felon, rapist, and accused pedophile sitting in the White House who's robbing taxpayers blind.
And he's doing his best to hijack that as well. So,
Lord help us. But I want to end it on this. Again, little personal nugget for me. As a lot of you know, I grew up in Detroit, Metro Detroit, spent a lot of time down there, crossed the bridge to Canada quite a few times. I preferred the tunnel. For those of you who live there, you know what I'm talking about. But they have been building a beautiful bridge there. It's a new one, and it's called the Gordie Howe Bridge. Named it after a hockey player who I have many autographs of and have met several times. In my opinion, best hockey player ever, better than even Wayne Gretzky, won like 4 or 5 Stanley Cups with the Red Wings. So that's who the bridge is named after. Beloved Canadian, American hockey player. Makes sense. Now Trump is apparently...
in his fifis.
he wants access to it like they like we did down in Panama Canal. And he's threatening that if he doesn't get it, he's going to block access.
The petty continues.
What?
Not even petty. It's just ridiculous. So,
Like, the White House has demanded that Canada share authority and ownership of a new bridge connecting the two countries after a clear and direct call between Donald Trump and Prime Minister Mark Carney. Deal's done, dude. Like, they figured that shit out before they even started building it. Like, you can't come in now that the business deal's done and start demanding shit. You had nothing to do with it. It's got nothing to do with you. Canada probably told you to go piss off a rope or whatever, and nothing's going to come of this. And by the way, the bridge is named after an actual alpha male who played hockey for 4 decades. Like, I actually got to see him play hockey. That's how long he fucking played. So, once again, Donald Trump is upset because something was named after a man better than him. With that, you got anything, brother?
yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a fight on our hand. We got a chance to get this ship moving back in the right direction, get some accountability and checks and balances going on again. I implore you, get involved. Help out candidates like Amy McGrath.
Yes.
Check out HTL's website, HTLPAC or holdthelinepac.org. Look at our candidates on there that we've endorsed. Amy's one of those candidates. Help them out, because this is an important time that we're in right now. We've got an opportunity. Like I said, I'm confident that we're going to win back the House, but I think we've got a shot at the Senate now.
Like I said, man, if Sean Harris can win, Marjorie's seat and Amy can snag McConnell's seat,
that'll be the first of many dominoes to fall.
Yeah, man, like that's gonna be big. So, like Marcus said, go check out the show. You can come on my YouTube. We've cut down the episodes with actual candidates down to just the interview, so you don't have to watch the full hour and 20 minutes. So go check those out. Share them with your friends. Go donate to the candidates that you really like. Like I said, even if it's $2-5, it all matters. With that, I want to leave y'all with this. Besides, go get your health checkups. We care about you. The reason that we do this show is because we care about the future, not just for us personally, but for our families, for your kids, for our kids. And even if we don't have kids, we still realize that children are our future. Educating those children is a part of our future. And putting candidates like Amy McGrath and Dr. Terry Ruiz and Sean Harris and all these people we're bringing on, these are the people that we need in these positions to get us back to where we were, because we can't move forward again unless we fix this. And clearly we took a wrong turn somewhere. So time to look at the map, turn around, and get back to where we were supposed to be.
There you go.
So as always, much love, keep fighting, but most importantly, stay safe out there.
Godspeed, everybody.